This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. I am here with Margot Couture. Since 2010, she has been catering to the client who wants that one-of-a-kind fit, be it for a wedding or a special occasion. Maggie, thanks so much for joining us here today. You are the founder, head designer. Let me ask you, obviously this is something that has been near and dear to you. It began even before 2010. Let's go back a little bit. Share with me how you got involved in this type of industry.
Well, it actually goes back to my childhood when I was growing up on a farm, and our family had 9 children. Of course, our mother was cutting corners, and so she sewed all of our dresses. And throughout the years, she made our prom dresses and our bridal gowns as they came around. And of course, I picked up her love for design and color and texture. And so I've always been making something. And I kind of keyed into the bridal gowns through the years because each one of them is a work of art, and it's such a special occasion, and it's such a happy time for the brides. So I find there's much more gratification in that artistic endeavor than making standard. So through the years, I would make gowns for friends and family, and then, everyone had already gone through their weddings, so I ran out of friends and family and decided that I couldn't not do it, so I started my own firm. In 2007, I started working, but I was doing it part-time and working a full-time job in the corporate world. And then in 2010, I just decided that I needed to move on. So.
Wonderful. It was time. And obviously, as the name implies, couture. Let's go ahead and define that for our viewers out there. What does couture mean?
It means a very special gown that is using the finest silks and laces and the finest fabrics that are available, and using many hand sewing techniques. And so each gown comes as an heirloom quality gown once it's completed. And this may be a side thing, but in the United States, couture does not have the same connotation that it does in France. It's a very specific endeavor in France. So we just kind of use the word couture. Nice.
I mean, when I think of couture, I think of high style, glamour. I think of models, runways. But quite honestly, you're making this available for anyone out there in the public.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the wonderful thing about being in the United States, and especially in Denver, because there are a few of us, but the population in Denver would normally have to go to New York or to Los Angeles or to Paris to get a couture gown, and here they have it right here right at hand.
Wonderful. So obviously, when we're talking about couture, we're saying customized. I mean, we're talking customized. It's about a perfect fit. How many fittings are we talking about that you allow to make sure they walk out and it's just perfect?
Usually there are 4 to 5 fittings. We start with, of course, the design of the gown, and this is the opportunity for the bride to choose whatever she's always wanted. I mean, every girl has her idea of what the perfect bridal gown is from the time she's playing with Barbie dolls when she's young. But this is her opportunity to be able to, design it exactly the way she wants it. And so we start out with the design, and then we choose the fabrics and the laces and, all of the embellishments that she might want. And then I do what we call a muslin, which is a practice gown, to make sure that the fit is exactly, and the style is exactly what she wanted, because sometimes you have in your head that you want something and then you see it on you and you go, well, maybe not so much. So that's our opportunity to redesign everything to be just perfect. And then from then on, I start making the actual gown, and there are fittings along the way, and then at the end she ends up with a perfect, beautiful gown.
So we're talking about a perfect fit, but quite honestly, it's more than just a perfect fit. This truly is a reflection of each individual, their vision of what they had for that day. Is that what kind of makes it fun for you as well as challenging at the same time?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's just such a fabulous experience. I get to know my brides very well, and the luxury of having a gown made especially for you is just something that so many people don't have the opportunity to do in life. Absolutely. And it just, as they go through the process, they really understand it's a very special time and it's a very special luxury that they're being able to take advantage of. And the thing is that I end up with my brides being more of a friend than a client, and it is the beginning of a relationship.
Wonderful. So quite a bit goes on at the first consultation. You're really getting to know them, what they're all about, possibly seeing what their personality is, also seeing where the event's going to take place. And this becomes very personalized and customized for them. Do they enjoy that first part of it as well? And are they excited?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's, they're a little bit tentative in most cases, I guess, because they have not experienced that before. But then as we get into the process, they become very comfortable, and it's just, they can settle back and enjoy the process then. So it's just a very special time, and it offers them a lot of memories to go with their, with their bridal book that they get later, because it isn't just, go in and buy the first dress you try on and then wait for it to.
Obviously, your expertise is at play here as well as your designers that you work with. But obviously, the quality of the material, the product, the silks, the satins, as well as the laces that you use, is that an important aspect?
Oh, absolutely. We put a lot of thought and a lot of selection into the process of purchasing the exact fabrics that the bride is looking for, and each one is just very special, and that's one of the most exciting things and the most customized part of the process is that she doesn't have to settle for the lace that everyone else would wear. So wow. It's very, very nice.
I mean, it's got to be exciting working on something that is going to demand a lot of attention on that day. All eyes are on that dress that day. But even more so, we're talking about you're creating something that is an heirloom. Something that it's got some emotional meaning that is going to be passed down from generation to generation. Is that quite an honor?
Absolutely, because it's something that kind of has a life of its own, and it lives beyond me, and that's a nice quality.
A serious undertaking. I mean, quite honestly, these folks are putting their trust in you. Is that an interesting aspect that you always think about?
Oh, absolutely, because the dress is such a focal part of the wedding, and it lives forever in the pictures. So, that's why we want to work so hard to make it perfect.
Wonderful. I mean, when you sit down at the consultation, I mean, each bride that walks in here, or each client that walks in here, they're very, they're individual as the dresses that you're creating for them, quite honestly, and the environments that they're going to be in, be it a small, cozy chapel, or possibly a large cathedral, maybe a wedding on top of a mountain, or even in a backyard of a gazebo. Are these all the things that you try to incorporate into that dress so that it ties into the environment?
Well, yes, and those are all details that we discuss in the first consultation when we're designing the gown. And I get to know a lot about the bride, not only the venue, but sometimes there are religious issues that are detailed in the gown. Just because we have to respect the traditions of the religions, and it's always fun to know how they met, and know their sort of the love story, and hear about the groom, and just all of the details of the wedding. So it does, and all of those things go into the design so that we've got the most appropriate and the most beautiful gown for that occasion.
Folks, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. First of all, on the website, you're going to get an idea of why buy couture, why go with a designer that basically is going to customize this dress just for you. You can also take a look. There's their contact information where they can basically set up a consultation. It's very important to come in, meet with a designer, and she will be able to explain years of experience that she has, as well as provide you with guidance in putting that perfect dress together. Let me ask you this, Maggie. We've discussed a lot about weddings because that's a big day for any person out there. But quite honestly, you're beyond that as well. We're talking about special events. We're talking about cocktail dresses, gala events, or even possibly going down the red carpet. Is this something that you're branching into as well?
Well, I actually have made gowns for a woman named Erin Breeze, whose husband in 2010 was nominated for the Best Short Documentary. And then in 2012, he was actually nominated again for the Best Short Documentary and did receive the Oscar for that night. And I made gowns for both of those occasions for her. So, and then I also was lucky enough to be able to participate in the costuming of the movie that was filmed here in Denver called Dear Eleanor, that I'm waiting breathlessly for it to come out, but it starred Jessica Alba, the costumes, and was just thrilled to be able to make a couple of the dance scene costumes for Jessica Alba herself. And so those were just little things that were a highlight of my career that, you know, I felt very special and lucky to be able to do. But normally, I do make mother of the groom, mother of the bride. I do bridesmaid dresses. Right now, I'm working on a gown for a performance gown for a young lady who plays classical guitar. And so that's a little bit of a challenge as well. So sure. Anything that is special occasion, I just really love, because generally if someone comes to me, they want something that's different and something that's unusual and that will really highlight their personalities and their, you know, work with their figure, what they consider flaws, sure. You know, but they want to look their best. So that's, wonderful. You know, that's kind of my forte.
Down in your workshop, I noticed that you have beautiful gowns that are down there, but you also have a complimentary line that are really lingerie. Share with me a little bit about that.
Yes. Lingerie is kind of a perfect complement to a bridal line. Actually, we have designed the pieces, and they are being produced in Rifle, Colorado right now, and that is a result of a program through Colorado Mountain College. The Dean of Business, Beth Shaw, has put together a program that will teach job skills for women who are down on their luck. She works with social services, and she works with program in Garfield County, and anyone that wants to start learning job skills, she brings in, and they are the ones who actually are working to produce these gowns that are these pieces that I have designed. And it is called the Daydreams Collection by Margot. The program started in 2012. It's a result of a grant that was done for, that was issued for economic development in more rural areas. And the county commissioners who approved the grant said that if she could get one person off of welfare, they would feel like their money was well spent. And in that time, it's going on 3 years now, in March, she's gotten 17 people off of welfare. Wow. So it's such a, I mean, it does my heart good. And it's the charitable, it's that part of giving that I've really been looking for, and something that I can really get behind.
I was going to say, you're well known here in the Colorado community. This kind of is a nice way for you to give back, and something that is exciting to be a part of. Absolutely.
And I know that all of the money is going to the place that I had designated it by doing this process, and that's very important to me. And I've looked at a lot of different causes over the years, and finally this one is the one that really speaks to me, because, you know, how many of us have needed a hand up at different times in our lives.
Very nice. Obviously, like you said, you stepped out in the year 2010, decided it was time to go to the public full time. But this was something that began many years ago when you were growing up, something that you had a passion for. It all begins with a vision. It begins with a vision, consultation, a handful of fittings, and then the final delivery. Is that final delivery something you get excited about just pretty much as much as the client?
Oh, absolutely. It's like, you know, the fulfillment of the dream that you have, and to see the finished product and to see that bride just feel like she's the most beautiful thing in the world on that day is just amazing. So I do attend as many of my client weddings as I can, because you know, there's just something about that day that gives them an extra sparkle. And I just love to see the whole thing come together.
The whole thing come together. Take a look, viewers, at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website once again. On the website, first of all, you can set up that consultation and basically find out if this would be a designing process that you would enjoy. It sounds like to me it's kind of exciting because you get to sit down, discuss a little bit about the love story that began it all, also discuss where the event will take place and what it is, how you want to come across. If you want a romantic look or if you want a fun and joyful look, it all can be incorporated in that design. Also take a look there and you can see basically testimonials. They've been in the media before, well known here in Colorado. And so that is Margot Couture here in Denver, Colorado. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.